So where exactly do we start the process of setting up all these analytics and conversions? Let's start making an account Google Analytics for. Go to analytics.google.com. You naturally and easily log in with your Gmail account. Click on Create a new account easily and securely. Next, we need to give it a temporary name for now. I will just copy the name of my site, simply the name. I prefer and recommend that you name your accounts after your domain name so that you can always find your analytics if needed, for example, in case of any issues or problems. Why? Because sometimes you create multiple websites, run different ads, and often find yourself in a situation where you have named something my site or something else, and it becomes very difficult to find that analytics by that name. Because search lines in analytics do not work by identifier yet. Moving on. I follow the same path, choosing the appropriate country, time, currency, and so on. If you are in Ukraine, choose Ukraine. If you are in another country, choose the corresponding country. Let's say, in this case, I will choose to keep the United States and the dollar. Let's move on. Here, it's up to you. Choose something if you want, or don't if you don't want to. I'm choosing this section. I would. Oh my, where is it? So I simply check all these boxes and then click Create. You can read everything. I always recommend reading, but since I am making a video, I won't be reading it with you. Press B. Next, we insert our site. Naturally, it must have our HTTPS, not just HTTP, also the domain name we will be using. Here, all our checkboxes are enabled. Press Create Account. Next, now the system will definitely prompt us to set up our analytics. But we will get to that in a short while, shortly. The next step. Since we will be setting up the 4th version of Google Conversion Analytics, we will also configure a purchase tag with dynamic data transmission in this process. We will do all of this comprehensively and thoroughly through a separate tool called Google Tag Manager. Why do I suggest doing it through this and not through some other plugin for now, right now? Well, I am offering a cheaper option, a full set of features, which is more than enough to work with Performance Max for a long time. The second reason is if you suddenly need to tweak, adjust, or change some data transmission, because you have to remember, Google is changing a lot right now. Practically every quarter, every month, they're upgrading something. Naturally, this results in some changes, so you can quickly log in and adjust whatever you need. Therefore, we need to install this Google Tag Manager on our WordPress and e-commerce, through which we will implement everything we need for analytics. For this particular task, we need to go to our plugin section once again, and then click right here on the Add New Plugin button. After that, I suggest you, for example, input the following characters. GTM4VP in the search bar. You will see the first plugin here called Google Tag Manager GDM plugin for WordPress, and it will be signed by Thomas Geiger. We will be installing it. I remind you, we are now setting up everything from start to finish to the maximum, feeding Google all possible information in a cost-effective manner. Therefore, we will use these additional settings. Be sure to click Activate. Now we have activated it. Next, go to the plugins. And now we will look for this plugin. Click on Settings, and after that, the most interesting part will begin. So we need to create a tag manager now, which will also be easy. Go to tagmanager.google.com and click Create Account. Here, I also copy the domain name of my site. It's the same process as we did with analytics. Set your country. Again, the same container settings. I also prefer to name it after my domain name. I choose web. I click Create. Optional. A small set of languages here, proofread or not. We don't have much choice. Without agreeing to this checkbox, we won't have anything. So we just created the Google Tag Manager account ourselves. What do we do next? Make sure to simply take and copy this necessary identifier. Go back to the admin panel of your WordPress and WooCommerce, go here and paste all these alphanumeric values. After that, we definitely go to integration, go to the WooCommerce block, and here we will check several important boxes for us. First, this is, accordingly, everything we are doing. We need to track e-commerce. Next, products per impression. The number 10 is set here by default. You can set a minimum of 5 positions as we will be making some adjustments, as the templates in WordPress vary. Sometimes a lot of events are transmitted, sometimes only a few. I will explain everything step by step on how to do it nicely. If you need, I can provide you with a ready-made container that you can upload and import into Google Tag Manager, and then simply enter your required data. This is another way to do it. Write to me in the comments so I know you need this ready-made container. But I will explain the entire process of how everything is set up so that if you have any questions, need modifications, or anything else, you can make changes on your end. So I need cart content, tax management, and I want it automatic. For now, let Google determine it automatically, customer data, order data, like. I always exclude taxes from income because I want to operate profitably with the real figures. Let it be so. I also exclude shipping if I need net income, which is without shipping and taxes. I check these boxes. If you need the gross income that comes in, you can leave these boxes unchecked. You adjust the tax to your needs. In this section, we must select retail because there are options for education, airline tickets for work, and different types of businesses. We are retail. So, with the product ID prefix, to understand whether you need to set it, you need to go back to your Merchant Center, go to Products, go to All Products, and look at your ID there. If you have something like JLA here in addition to the numbers, I copy it and definitely add it here in my admin panel. I will definitely explain later what this thing will be needed for. Here, I don't point out anything else. I just click Save. I would definitely double check this block again to make sure it's there by verifying this code and clicking Save Changes. So yes, indeed, we definitely saved those changes. After that step is done, it's essentially essential to go back into your Google Tag Manager account, click Submit, and then Publish before skipping. And now the most interesting part will begin again. For now, this container is completely empty. What will we do? We will return to this plugin by Thomas Geiger. Go to Integrations, back to the e-commerce platform. And here we go to this official guide here. Scroll down and explore. Go to this label. This is a ready-made container. Right-click on it. Click Save As. Confirm the save. Saved in the format we need. Return to Google Tag Manager and go to our admin section. Go to Import Container. Here, select this particular item that we just downloaded ourselves from the internet. And here, we have 2 different options for what Google Tag Manager offers us next. Upload this container with the content because it will save us a significant amount of time to a new workspace or an existing one. Since I have an entirely empty container, I choose the existing one. Next, it'll offer us to either overwrite everything or merge. Since mine is empty, I will choose to overwrite. If you already had Google Tag Manager set up with some configurations, choose Merge. Just select the best option for you. This is to overwrite the component tags or rename them. I choose Override and Confirm. And you can see it has already created a specific tag and a bunch of variables for us. This will save us a little bit more time while we carefully and meticulously fine-tune things. We need to set up the global tag for Google Analytics 4. We created Analytics earlier. We click on Create Tag and select Google Analytics. Select Google Tag, return to our Analytics, go to Dataflow ID, copy it, go here, paste this identifier, select Triggers. If you ever doubt whether you are doing it correctly or not, always refer to this guide. Here, they recommend selecting the trigger and initialization. I explain these nuances something changes. It differs from my video. you can refer back to the original source. So next, what I have here is that I will name it J44. Then we go into this tag, make sure to remove this thing, and insert our code from analytics for. I prefer to do it this way so that we get a message saying Google tag found in our container. Save it. So what we have done now, to help you understand the logic, is that we currently have a draft of the settings for further configuration of the fourth analytics, which you will use either for tracking conversions or target actions on the site. This step is a key process to ensure the analytics setup is done correctly, and we must be meticulous and careful in every part, from removing the old tag to inserting the new code from Analytics 4, so that we achieve accurate tracking. I don't know, see how many products were viewed and which were added to the cart and purchased. Really cool report. I will show an example using Google's demo account for you to understand its power. This will help you better understand which products are effective and which are not. Second, this fourth data analytics will help you better understand how people interact with your site if something needs further improvement or additional enhancements. So this thing will not hurt. And the third way is that if you unexpectedly don't want to make any further settings, you can use purchase conversions directly from the fourth analytics in our advertising account. But we will create a slightly different conversion for this. So just so you understand what we are doing right now, this is a draft that we will refine together. If you need this container ready-made, you only need to change your IDs, contact me, and I will let you download it directly. So what are we going to do now? We are now going to place a test order right now. For this, I will simply open a product card, go to my Google Tag Manager system, and just click on the preview button. And then I insert my website link. And now we will look at the next picture. After Tag Manager, at least two windows open for us. This is a kind of debugger to see our code. It's Google Analytics 4. It is said that it has already been set up for us through Google Tag Manager. And there's also this window, which has this block, here information space, view in Tegasystem windows. So we will now make a completely right test order in this window. Now, for what? To see what we ultimately have in terms of codes and whether we need to make any adjustments. Here you simply go through all the stages of placing an order. I will go through them now as best as I can. That's it. I'm at the finish line. Your checkout page may display like mine with a whole set of data, or it might just say thank you for your order. It all depends on your template. It can all vary. Do it in a way that's convenient for you. Let's go back to the tab we had before. And what are we looking for? We scroll down. What are we looking for? First, we look at our product card. What are we looking for here? We are looking for events like view item list, add to cart, such as these. See? What are these things? View item is basically an event that will tell us in analytics that someone viewed the product card. View item list means they essentially looked at some listing. Well, what listing did you look at on this product card? It's clear that usually similar items or user selections are pulled in here, different lists. This all relates to listings. Listings also include, for example, navigating to a category with a bunch of products, so that can also be considered a listing. All right, indeed. Let's actually go back here. Next, add to cart. This is the event of adding to the cart. Then we have this same story again. We have cart view, checkout start, payment info, shipping info, purchase. All of this is now automatically and precisely pushed to our analytics. Let them know. Now we click on the home page. All right, you can accept all of this without any issues. It definitely won't hurt at all. Close this tab when you're done and proceed to the next step. Go to our admin. After that, scroll all the way down. Find something called debug view. And here, information might appear quickly like it did for me. It might take a few minutes, but it's usually there. Scroll all the way down and you see it too. The same view item, we open it. What must be transmitted here? Currency. Currency is very important to us. Value is the price of the product. It should generally match what you had on the site. All other parameters are optional. They can be more or less. And elements, see, we have the product ID, quantity, name, categories, and price. The price will be shown strangely, ignore it. The main thing is that everything looks good in the value parameter. The same goes for view item list. There are more elements here. There are 2 elements here. Add to cart, the same story. In this cart, it is preferable that you also check the value and the elements. See, I have them here. Is there a question? 2 items were in my cart, but now only 1. The Add to Cart event should be recorded when the Add to Cart button is clicked, not when viewing cart. Viewing the cart is a separate event for us. If we go here, the amount will be different. It should match the fact that we bought 2 items. And here we can see I added item 40.10, and here it's 40.04. The same story with the begin checkout. Make sure everything matches what you have set there. Otherwise, in the end, your data will not match. Begin checkout has 2 positions here. The same goes for payment info, currency, value, elements, shipping info, we check. And purchase. Purchase will always be marked in green because it is our main goal, the conversion task. In the purchase, currency must be included, we have it. Second, shipping, whether it's there or not, must be transmitted. The transaction ID 5304 might match this order number. It could be different. The main thing is that you know where this number comes from. Sometimes people change different parameters, but everything should generally match up for you. And here are the elements. I open them. Here, 1 item is purchased, and the second one is also here. The value matches with 2.564. Everything is as it should be. Everything matched perfectly. So, look at what was just done. We set up the 4th analytics ourselves. What various different reports can be seen, analyzed, or viewed from this? I'll show you an example of one report now. What does it really look like on the demo account? What did you even just need this thing for? One moment. I'll just open the analytical data right now. So I'll show you this using Google's demo account as an example. This is a demo account, and it allows you to easily access the analytics. It is segregated on test data. Someone is testing the display of various reports or something else. Here we can take a look. Here is the monetization block. And commerce purchases, what can we see here? We can see a list of products, their names, and the coolest reports. We see how many products were viewed through view item. Yes, they were viewed. Then, how many times these view items were added to the cart in total. Look, all test data can be logical or illogical, so there's nothing critical here. And the products purchased, and so the revenue. Google has issues with this revenue, even on its test accounts. For the revenue to be counted, there must be guarantees. I emphasized this in every event. This report is one of the best and coolest because it allows you to analyze what is actually happening with your products. There are a bunch of different reports here. You can spend time on this, review them, and so on. Let's get back to our Google Tag Manager platform. So we set up the 4th analytics tool. Look, there's just one small nuance. Now let's proceed. If you happen to have duplicate events here, for example, a lot of view items or numerous view item lists, it all depends on the website template that you are using and the various types of plugin systems that you are using for your analytics. There will be quite a lot of them in particular. In that case, I recommend watching another one of my videos on how to avoid these event duplications. I'll try to link it either in the video description or there will be a hint somewhere here. If your screen looks different from mine, review it and make changes. Everything will be logical and correct, and it will be great. Here they are not duplicated except for the view item listing, but I am leaving it as is. So the 4th analytics is set up. Everything is super great. Only one thing left to do. Don't forget to publish your container. You can name it. I'll call the version, let's say, J4. That's it. We've covered the analytics question. From this moment, it will start recording all the data. Also, what you will need to adjust in your Google Analytics profile, as of the moment I recorded the video, if anything changes, you can always check this information in the Analytics demo account. I recommend that you simply click Show All in the identification methods here and easily select based on the device. Confirm the last block. This will record your data slightly differently in a different manner. Additionally, we need to link the fourth analytics with our Google Ads. I will describe in great detail and thoroughly how to do this in the next step when we create a Google Ads account. All right, we're done with analytics. Let us move on to the next steps, setting up other things.